What's a local legend horror story in your town everyone collectively believes or tells? 1. Constitution Drive haunting. In the outskirts of our small town lies Constitution Drive, an unpaved road stretching about a mile to an old, dilapidated farmhouse. Local legend claims a reclusive, inbred albino family lives there, ready to kill anyone who ventures too close. Despite this, the road is a popular hangout for teens smoking weed, and no one's ever been harmed. Still, I had a chilling experience once. While driving down the narrow road with friends, a pair of headlights tailed us, sparking panic. The road, flanked by a cliff on one side and a steep hill on the other, offered no easy escape. When we turned around, the car behind us had vanished without a trace. An impossible feat on such a confined path. 2. Gold Camp Road tragedy. An urban legend in my town tells of a school bus filled with children in the 1970s that veered off Gold Camp Road, a narrow, winding dirt path up the mountain, plummeting to its doom. All the children aboard perished. They say if you park your car at the crash site, ghostly handprints of the children will appear all over your vehicle, as if they're trying to push you to safety. 3. Gibbs Bridge Ghost Stories. Kids in my town obsess over Gibbs Bridge, a supposedly haunted spot where high schoolers go to test their courage. 1,000 different tales explain its eerie reputation, from ghostly apparitions to the sound of a dead man's pickup truck rumbling by. I've crossed it once. It's barely a bridge, just a small structure over a tiny creek, covered in graffiti and sitting in the middle of nowhere. Despite the hype, it felt more like a teenage rite of passage than a paranormal hotspot. 4. Mother's Day horror. Last Mother's Day, a man walked into our town's only grocery store holding his mother's severed head. He stabbed a store employee and descended into a frenzied meltdown. No matter how many times I explained that he wasn't a local, that he walked 10 to 12 miles to get there, people insist he was one of us. The chilling truth is, he brought his mother's head to the store as a grotesque tribute for the holiday. 5. The Lantern Man of Chapel Hill. Long ago, a railroad switchman was killed by an oncoming train. Legend has it, his ghost still wanders the tracks, carrying his lantern. People claim the light passes through cars stopped at the tracks at night. YouTube videos even capture this mysterious glow. Chapel Hill is so small that explanations like airplane lights or car headlights don't hold up. This is something else entirely. 6. The Coyote Child of Wisconsin. In my small Wisconsin town, my grandparents used to tell a wild tale about a deranged farmer who mated with a coyote, birthing a monstrous coyote child that now roams the woods, devouring pet cats. It's pure fiction, of course, but as a kid, I couldn't help but wonder when so many of my childhood cats went missing. 7. San Antonio's Haunted Tracks. In downtown San Antonio, there's a set of railroad tracks where children were reportedly killed years ago. The story goes that if you sprinkle powder on your car's trunk and park on the tracks, the spirits of the children will push your car to safety. When you check afterward, tiny handprints cover the trunk, proof of their ghostly intervention. 8. Holcomb Road's terrors. Holcomb Road in rural Ohio is undeniably haunted. This old, narrow road cuts through Holcomb Forest, and strange things happen to those who drive it. Your gas tank inexplicably drains the longer you stay. And if you turn off your engine, good luck starting it again. Faces of children, believed to be victims of a long-ago school bus crash, peer from the trees. Park at the forest's entrance, and a mysterious light appears. Venture into the woods, and that light will chase you out. Locals swear by this legend, and no one doubts its truth. 9. The seductress of the abandoned district. Late at night, in a deserted part of town, a sultry woman in a veil might appear outside a bar, luring men with her hypnotic perfume and swaying hips. She never speaks or turns around, leading you to the darkest corners of the city. At an old, crumbling house, she finally faces you, revealing a grotesque face crawling with worms and reeking of rotting flesh. If you flee, you'll escape unharmed. But if she kisses you, you'll die instantly, and your body will vanish forever. 10. Hawaii's Night Marchers. Growing up in Hawaii, I heard tales of the night marchers, spectral warriors who roam the islands, slaughtering outsiders or those not of their lineage during their ghostly processions. My brother used to tease that they'd come for me first because of my holy blood, sending shivers down my spine as a kid. 11. Lick Road and Bobby Mackey's. Lick Road dead ends at a nature preserve where a woman named Amy was allegedly murdered. Her child abducted. They say if you drive to the end and call out, "Amy, I have your child," her vengeful spirit will attack. Nearby, Bobby Mackey's, a haunted bar that was once a slaughterhouse, is said to be cursed by the spirits of workers who died there. Now a museum exhibit, few take its ghostly reputation seriously anymore. 12. The Goatman of South Fort Worth. In South Fort Worth, Texas, the legend of the Goatman, a half-goat, half-human creature, terrifies kids. It's said to lurk in Hillside Park, kidnapping children and dragging them to its lair. As a child, I was petrified. But now I wonder if this tale has spread beyond Texas. 13. The Cursed Pillar of Augusta. In Augusta, Georgia, a lone pillar stands in the downtown market, rumored to be cursed by a 19th century preacher banned from preaching there. He swore a great wind would destroy the market, leaving only the pillar. In 1878, a rare winter tornado obliterated the market, but the pillar stood untouched. They say anyone who tries to move it will be struck dead. 14. Gore Orphanage Tragedy. In Vermilion, Ohio, the Gore Orphanage legend tells of a disgruntled janitor who burned down an orphanage around 1900, killing the children and staff inside. At night, you can supposedly hear crackling flames and screams. In reality, the orphanage burned down years after it closed, with no one inside. Today, a private home stands on the site, and the owner is fed up with curious visitors. 15. The schoolyard ghost. At my first elementary school, kids whispered about a girl who died and was buried on a hill in the playground. They claimed if you said her name 3 times in the dark school bathroom mirror, she'd appear and kill you. Those creaky, ancient bathrooms were creepy enough to make any 7-year-old too scared to try. 16. Alabama's snake-infested waters. In my rural Alabama town by a lake, stories abound about deadly water snakes. One tale tells of a girl water skiing who crashed into a massive ball of mating snakes, fell and died from countless bites. Another involves young lovers skinny dipping, with the girl mistaking a snake nest for barbed wire, leading to a gruesome end. 17. Salt Lake City's Hobbit Town. Rumor has it there's a hidden enclave in Salt Lake City where little people live in tiny, custom-built homes. They're said to fiercely guard their privacy, attacking outsiders who dare to gawk. It's a quirky legend that's hard to verify but persists in local lore. 18. Ulla, the downtown legend. A homeless woman named Ulla was a fixture in our downtown. With her bald head, gruff voice, and Popeye-like appearance, rumors swirled that she was once a model, actress, or even a figure skater. She'd shout at passers-by or offer unsolicited romantic advice. When she passed away in 2009, the town mourned its eccentric icon. 19. The haunted campfire curse. Since the 1960s, my town has told a chilling tale. A group of teens broke into an old tavern, stole liquor, and fled to the woods by the railroad tracks to party. In a drunken rage, one teen killed another and the group buried the body to cover it up. A week later, their charred, unrecognizable bodies were found hanging at the campsite. They say if you light a fire there at night, the vengeful spirits will curse you. 20. The Beverly Hills Girl. In my high school, everyone in my sophomore year buzzed about a rude girl from Beverly Hills who attended for just 3 days. The story spread like wildfire, but no one could claim to have met her, only heard of her. It was as if she was a ghost in our gossip. 21. The Exorcism House. The house down the street from my childhood home was said to be the site of a horrific murder-suicide. Local kids claimed a priest from the nearby church performed an exorcism there 30 years ago. Possessed by a demon, he drained his victims' blood into a bathtub, dismembered them, and spent days bathing in their blood and eating their flesh. When another priest checked on him, the deranged man attacked. Police arrived, and he set himself and the house ablaze. On the anniversary of the fire, no one knows the exact date, a burning figure is said to appear behind the curtains. 22. The tragic washing machine incident. In a wealthy, devout suburb of my city, a girl from a strict religious family secretly masturbated by sitting on a running washing machine with a wooden broom handle. When her mother walked in, she jumped off in panic, and the broom impaled her. She bled out in minutes, while her mother berated her for her sinful behavior. 23. The motorcycle ghost of the bridge. Near my hometown, a rural bridge spans a small creek. Decades ago, a motorcyclist crashed there and died. Legend says if you park on the bridge at night and honk your horn, a single headlight will approach from the opposite side, only to vanish when it reaches the bridge. 24. Ambrose Small's Theatre, haunting. Ambrose Small, a local theatre owner, vanished in the early 1900s, and many believe his spirit lingers in the theatre, watching new plays. Some think he was buried in Victoria Park across the street, while others claim he was murdered and cremated in the theatre's furnace. The mystery has fueled countless paranormal investigations. 25. The Woman of Coniston Lake. In the late 90s and early 2000s, kids in my town spoke of a woman in white gliding across Coniston Lake during a full moon, searching for her murdered children. Her body was supposedly dumped in the lake. Shockingly, about a decade ago, a woman's body was found at the lake's bottom, the victim of a homicide. Could the killer have started the legend? 26. The Gypsy Boy's Grave. Locals call it the Boy's Grave, a site tied to a young gypsy boy who took his life after losing sheep he was tending. The story goes that if your car breaks down nearby, his spirit will demand you replace the lost sheep. When my kids were young, I'd pretend our car stalled near the grave, sparking chaos and screams. 27. The Gates of Hell. An abandoned railroad trestle hangs over a creek in my town, where a girl committed suicide. Her diary and a satanic Bible revealed her attempt to open a portal to hell through human sacrifice. Dubbed the Gates of Hell, it's a creepy spot, made creepier by the fact that I once hooked up with an ex there. 28. The Cow-Footed Woman. An old deformed woman known as the Cow-Footed Lady is said to roam our streets at midnight. You can hear her hoof-like foot scraping the pavement. She's never harmed anyone, just drags her eerie hoof through the night. 29. The Haunted Stanley Hotel. The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, inspired Stephen King's The Shining and is notorious for paranormal activity. Guests report strange occurrences, and the hotel offers nightly ghost tours. Book in advance. I felt an undeniable chill during my stay, and many swear the place is alive with spirits. 30. The Giant Sturgeon of the Lake. A welder diving to repair pipes at the bottom of our lake quit on the spot after encountering a massive eyeball. The eye of a sturgeon, the size of a school bus. Locals believe a colossal fish lurks in the lake's depths, a legend that's equal parts awe-inspiring and terrifying.